they don't really make great meat. And if you kill a female, she's filled with hundreds and hundreds of eggs, right? The other thing they were doing was they were making omelets, right, out of the turtle eggs, right? And so they're going out there and digging up the eggs on the beach, and they're making omelets, right? It's food. Hey, the turtle makes a bunch of them, right? But the problem is that after you do that for a while, all of a sudden the jellyfish start to go, hey, there's nothing to eat us, right? And you get stung just by putting your foot in the water, right? He said there were mornings where the beach, you'd watch the surf come in and wash it up on the beach, and it'd just be jellyfish, right? It just looks like jelly out there, right in the surf, right? So you can't even get to the water, right? You can't even get out there to go surfing without jumping over So this is a problem. And he liked going swimming with the turtles. You remember turtles? If you've ever been swimming in the ocean, you have a turtle come up to you next to you. It is so cool. I had one come up to me next to about 100 feet under the water while I was scuba diving. And this sucker came up to me, I was like, man, they're just like, so cool. Like, I want to hug you. But they're fast underwater. They're plant eaters, But they think that plastic bags are also food. Did you know that? They think that they're jellyfish, and so they've been choking on plastic. That's another thing that's been killing off turtles. And so anyhow, so where did I go? Jay came back. His name's Wallace J. Nichols. And so anyhow, he came back to the U.S. and he decided that he was going to commit his life to studying sea turtles. And then he went back while he was in college and he was working on his graduate work, right, to get his PhD. He was becoming Dr. Turtle, right? Because he wanted to do something about this. And he lucked out. He found this small village where there's some fishermen that weren't catching any fish anymore, so they were all poor, right? They were having a hard time bringing fish back in because all the fish had been wiped out. And he convinced this fisherman, he said, look, I got an idea. He says, I will send down more researchers down here if you help me grow turtles, and you can be a tour guide instead of a fisherman, and you make more money. To scientists that want to come down here and study sea turtles. And so he talked this fisherman into it, and they went and they got a giant turtle, and they put a transponder on her back, right? This little beacon thing with an antenna. And they named the turtle after this fisherman's daughter, Angelita. And Angelita took off, okay, from the Gulf, and she swam all the way across the Pacific, took her almost a year, and ended up in Japan, right near where they had the Fukushima power plant going. Okay? No one knew this about sea turtles. So here you have an undergraduate, right, who's like, puts this transponder on a turtle, and all of a sudden, he makes this startling discovery that they crossed the ocean, okay? And then he starts studying the path of the ocean, right, of where the turtle went, and he realized that the turtle was going right through the North Pacific Gyre, which is where you have all this plastic out there in the ocean, right? And so he's like, this is a problem, man. How are these turtles going to make it, right? And if the turtles collapse, the ecosystem collapses. We have jellyfish, and they choke out the water. Oh, a lot of problems, right? So it had been heavy on his heart, and he didn't know what to do, and he didn't have a lot of money. The guy was always broke, right? He's a poor guy. Spent all his money on education, right? So anyhow, years later, he met the love of his life. And they had a baby girl on the way. And he wanted to go, and he got all excited, right? So he wanted to go get some toys to put in the baby's room, right? He's going to be a new dad. And he went to the toy store, and he didn't want to buy any plastic things, right? He's like, I don't want to buy any plastic toys for my kid. Okay, try going to the toy store with the statement, I don't want to buy any plastic, and I don't want any plastic wrappers either. Ooh, start thinking about it, you're like, that's like nothing. Everything's plastic. Everything's wrapped in plastic, right? And so he was looking around, and he didn't want to contribute to the problem because he knew it was a problem, right? He didn't have a lot of money or anything like that. And then he found the only thing in the store that wasn't wrapped in plastic. It was in a metal tin, a can of marbles. And he was going there because he was so grateful, he was so excited about having his baby girl, right? So he was going there out of gratitude, right? The only thing and you don't want to give marbles to a baby because they'll think they're candy and they'll, right? No. But it inspired him. He looked at them and he was looking at the marbles and he's going, oh, I got an idea. And he went home and he thought about it a little bit more, and then he dropped $12 and bought a .com, okay? And he called it the Blue Marble Project. Blue marbles. Okay? And on the bottom of the box of marbles, it said, the last marble manufacturer in America. And it had their phone number on there. So I called him up. He said, can you give me boxes of just blue marbles? And they said, well, what are you doing? And he said, well, I got this idea. It's called the blue marble game. Okay? And they said, okay, we'll hear you out. They listened to him. He said, I want to sell these marbles. I want to create a game where people have to take these marbles, and then for every marble that I get out, I'm going to have them donate $1 to saving a sea turtle. And every time they buy a marble, they're going to save a turtle. Okay? Because it doesn't cost that much to save these turtles, right? It doesn't cost that much. More than 1 million of these marbles have been sold. That means that over 1 million turtles have been launched because of a little idea of gratitude for this game. So I'm going to show. No, it didn't go to him. It went to the turtles. He serves the foundation that goes down, so he keeps on doing it. But that was just a little idea of gratitude. Okay? Pretty simple, right? It's a toy. It's a toy. So we're going to play the game right now. I'm going to tell you how the game works. Ready? And this is the guy's name. His name is Dr. Wallace J. Nichols. I met up with him 2 weeks ago. And here we are at the Turtle Conference. Hey, that's Dr. J right there on the side. And we got our blue marbles. I was down at the San Diego Conference Center. He was down there last week. There's yours truly. And Dr. J. Okay, so anyhow, ready to play the blue marble game? Oh, look at that. Look inside the blue marble. We're in that picture too, but upside down. Strange, huh?
Oh, what?
Okay, here we go. Here's the blue marble game. Hold the blue marble, put it halfway through your head. Put it halfway through.
Bam!
Out here, okay? Look at it.
Where's my eyes? It's upside down.
Does it look like, does it seem like there's a couple things there, or is it just one? It's just one, right? It's pretty complete, right? It's pretty complete. The distance that you're holding out the blue marble is the distance. That's what the Earth would look like if you were 1 million miles away. Okay? From 1 million miles away, the Earth is not divided into nations. There's not one nation under God. It's just a blue marble. From out here, there's no such thing as races, species, haves and have-nots, rich and poor, black and white, whatever. It's just a blue ball in space. It is an absolute miracle, unique in the universe. We have not found another one like it. When you go looking for life, and you're an astronomer, you look for blue. Because water is life. Okay? Everybody who has ever loved you, everyone who has ever done a kind thing to you, from 1 million miles away, they are all one on that blue marble. This is the object of the game. It's your marble. It's filled with the people that you love. Now bring it close to your eye and look at the window. So look outside, look inside, and start spinning it around and see what you see inside of the blue marble. Hold it inside your eye, close to your eye. Look out at the light. You'll see some refraction. Some people say it's a weird thing. If you look your eyes here, I see a smirk. I see a space alien, Mr. Rizor.
I feel pinch of thoughts.
Now bring it back for just a second. If you were to extract this much water in the ocean, and you looked at it underneath a microscope, you'd find over 1 million forms of life in that single drop of water. Granted, it's a big drop of water, but you'd find 1 million different forms of life. That's how bountiful life is on this planet. Okay? You pull it out anywhere, that's how much life